She's Christina.
And he's Ed.
And we're here with the Let's Cook project.
With Kitchen Social. So what do we do before we start cooking? Tie back long hair.
Remove all loose jewelry.
Roll up your sleeves or just wear short ones.
Wash your hands.
Put on a clean apron.
And make sure your equipment and your food preparation area is clean and ready to go.
So today we are making pasta pangrattato, which is essentially toasted breadcrumbs with mixed herbs and spices. In Italy, it's known as the poor man's parmesan. So what do I do first?
So first things first, we're gonna start with making the breadcrumbs. And just so you know, we've got some cold pressed oil, some oregano, some chili flakes, which are optional, and some bread.
We've also got
some garlic. And remember, we've got a clove, not a bowl.
The reason why I like this recipe is because we use stale bread, which means that less bread can go to waste. And I just start by tearing it apart, right?
I mean, some people, with food, you can use a food processor, but it doesn't need to be too small in regards to the breadcrumbs.
So I'm done with my breadcrumbs. I'm gonna put these in a bowl. Okay. Now we are gonna chop the garlic.
With the base of our hands, we're just gonna lightly, firmly press on the garlic to get the skin off. You're gonna grab a fork for protection to avoid any accidents within the cooking space, and you're gonna pop it towards the end.
Here?
Yep, as a guard.
Yep.
And then grab your knife and just start cutting. Yep. There we go. Just finely chop those.
Nice.
It's okay to take your time with it. It's a gradual process. Like we said, it's art.
Yeah. So I am now going to put the garlic into the bowl of breadcrumbs. And then I'm gonna put the herbs and spices in. So what's this?
So this is oregano.
Oregano, right?
A classic. Just sprinkle a bit of that on there. Some chili flakes.
Right. Do we want to put all of it in, or how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a bit light, just to stay on the safe side.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. And now we're going to put it in a pan to toast.
That's right.
For this, we are going to put a tablespoon of cold oil. We have to put it in cold to avoid splattering. So now we can turn the heat on.
That is correct.
To a medium heat. Right.
Okay.
Don't worry about the sort of big chunks of bread, because as they get toasted, it will just kind of crumble up later on when it's cooled down. Just making sure the herbs and spices are evenly spread. So now that it's toasted, we are going to put it in a bowl.
I'll grab you some mitts. The handle might be a bit hot.
Yeah. Pour it out.
There we go.
So we've got our toasted breadcrumbs. What are we going to do next?
Now we're going to move on to the sauce.
Now, Ed, you're going to cook the sauce, right?
That's correct.
So let's swap.
Let's do it. Okay, so run me through.
Cool. So we've got 2 tins of chopped tomato. We've got vegetable oil. We've got an onion. We've got black pepper. We've got a clove of garlic. We've got oregano. We've got sugar. We've got basil. We've got pasta.
You just pass me the onion and garlic, please.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Do the onion first.
Start with the onion. We're going to have it in the bridge position because if it rocks, it is wrong. Just firmly have there. The knife acts as a train going under the bridge. Just gently in there.
Try not to chop the hairy bottom.
Yeah.
It'll make you cry.
That's right. There we go. Skin it off if possible. There we are. Fancy stuff out there. And then, like he said, from the bridge comes the claw. Chop it nicely. There we go. So, I'm gonna use my base of the hand and give a nice firm press, get the skin off, but don't crush the clove. It's important to treat the clove with a bit of love. It's fragile.
treat all food with a bit of love.
Angles are important. Is this
Yeah.
okay? Sweet, I'm just gonna cut nicely, some nice bits of garlic.
I actually really like using that technique because it's safe, like your fingers are nowhere near it.
So what's next?
Now we're gonna cook the sauce.
That's great. What is
Yeah.
pan etiquette? Would we do first?
Cold oil, cold pan.
That's correct. Tablespoon. And just bloop. Nicely in there. Make sure it's all balanced out.
So turn it on about medium heat.
Okay, that's cool. And then I'm gonna add this in.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Onions and garlic are always the
That's
base.
correct. Try to avoid any sort of mess. Thank you.
And then we're gonna wait till the onions have softened.
I think it's good if you could just give like a firm grip at the handle when you are stirring, just to make sure.
Yeah, always hold on to the handle when you're stirring. When I'm cooking with my siblings at home, I always ensure that if I'm not using the handle, then it's turned away, inwards, so no one sort of accidentally trips into it or gets hurt. There's a bit of colour on the onions, it's softened.
Precisely.
So now we're going to add the dried basil.
That's right.
Note the difference, dried, not dried, fresh. So, do you want to add it in?
No problem. So I'll just get my basil first. Nicely just spread it on. A nice little stir, give it a good mix.
Just let the flavours combine for a minute or so.
The flavours.
The flavours.
Spread out nicely. Now we're gonna add.
The chopped tomatoes.
Okay, so both tubs. Just pop that in there. Yeah, you hear that?
I love that sizzling sound.
Yeah.
Now we are going to add a little bit of sugar
Okay, and why do we add sugar?
because the tomato is a bit acidic, so it,
Balance up. We're gonna use all of it.
yeah.
That sugar in there.
Come on, stir it all around.
Okay. Get it in there so it's all nice and balanced. We want to achieve balance with our masterpiece.
And we're going to let that simmer and cook and become a sort of thick, tomatoey, rich sauce.
That's right. Okay, so now this sauce is cooked up a bit. And now for the big reveal, look at that.
That looks good. I'm ready to try some. So we've got the pasta
Yep.
cooked and drained.
Key reminder, always take the pasta to the sauce, never the sauce to the pasta.
Yeah.
Put that in
So-
there gently. There we go. Nice big mix of it. That in there. Make it really rich.
We are going to add the basil.
That's right. Really like the texture. Oh no, let it settle in.
Do you think that's enough? Should I add a bit more?
Just a teeny bit more. There we go. Have a look at the lid.
So with the breadcrumbs, I'm just going to crunch them up a bit to get them smaller, but I also want to leave some big chunks there as well.
Just get that in there. Ooh, nice.
Sloppy.
Yeah. This right here.
So now we're gonna
Spread
spread over the
Pangratato.
exactly. Do you want to add like some fresh basil on top?
No problem.
Presentation,
That's
bit of
right.
jazz. I love texture in pasta, so I think I'll really like the pangratato. So here's our final dish. Looks yummy.
That's right. Oops.
Ready?
Mhm.
3, 2,
Two.
1.
Mm.
Oh. That was really good. Pangratato and pasta.
That's right. We're feeling a bit inspired today. Why is
Yeah.
that?
We're making fruit kebabs inspired by the book The Hungry Caterpillar, The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a legendary book. Are you gonna read it or?
You know what? I might just do that. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on the leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food, and that's what we're going to recreate today.
All right.
So now, let's get into these kebabs.
Yeah, okay, so we've got pears,
That's right.
plums, apples, tangerines, and strawberries,
And some sticks.
and some sticks. The great thing about these sticks is that they've got that little handle, so you know which side you hold and which side you eat
Right.
from. All right, so shall I chop the apples? Do you want to show them how to puncture the strawberries?
No problem.
When you do cut the apples, get a parent involved if you need help, but just have your fingers like that and cut as a defense to the knife, and then you'll have your corn.
With the strawberry, emphasis on straw. Gonna grab a nice,
Oh,
you see what I did there? Just gonna pop this in here. And just pop it out the end, like that. Got a nice big hole in it.
Fruit makes me so happy. Fruit are the way to my heart.
That's it.
So I'm gonna put the apples in their individual,
The Monday
Oh.
pot.
the Monday pot, yeah.
That's right.
Right. So just cut this the same way you cut the apples.
The best part about this recipe is that, you know, you can use a cutlery knife when cutting some of these fruits, just to avoid any sort of accident, so nothing slips. Just nicely done.
I'm going to use a cutlery knife to cut this plum. So we go around the equator. You twist. And then you get this out. I can wait. So I'm going to put the plums in.
Orange, and for this, you don't need to give it a bit of a fancy, nothing too fancy, just give it a nice peel. Monday, it's the apples.
It's the apple.
That's right.
Cool.
I might just make another one as well. And then Tuesday we have the pears. Wednesday we have the plum. And then Thursday we have the strawberries. And then finally on Friday we have the orange. There we go.
I'm going to layer it on again. There's mine. Do I get to eat it?
You may turn into a butterfly.
Hi, my name's James from the Let's Cook project, and today we're going to go bananas. We throw away in the UK approximately 1.4 million bananas every single day, which we don't need to. So I'm going to show you a few ways that we can stop them going too ripe too soon, and also what we can do with them when they are a bit too ripe. So, first thing, you have a look at my fruit bowl. I've got bananas in the fruit bowl. Don't do it. Bananas give off a little bit of a gas, which makes everything else in that fruit bowl go ripe quickly. So you always keep them separately, and don't keep them in the fridge because it makes them go black. Okay, so in my fruit bowl, I've got a couple of pears. Everybody likes a nice juicy pear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a brown paper bag. These aren't quite juicy enough for my liking. So I'm going to put them in the bag with the bananas, because that will make my pears go nice and ripe, nice and juicy, nice and quickly. If you don't want your bananas to go ripe too quickly, just wrap the top in a little bit of tin foil. These bananas I wrapped in tin foil 2 days ago, and I think you'll agree they're looking pretty healthy. These ones I did not, and you can see that they're pretty ripe and pretty squishy. Useful piece of information, a banana tree isn't a tree at all, it's actually a herb. A banana is actually a berry. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to peel them and I'm just going to cut them into chunks. You can see on this one, the end's gone black. Don't need to throw away the whole banana, just get rid of the end. Another thing about bananas, a bunch of bananas is actually known as a hand. So a banana is actually a finger. So I've chopped up my bananas that are a bit too ripe. And what I'm going to do with these ones is I'm going to put them into a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag like this. And I'm going to freeze them. So these are some that I've already done. And I'm going to take my frozen bananas and I'm going to put them in my blender. Put the lid on, because you won't be popular if you blend bananas and turn your ceiling banana flavoured. Okay, so we've blended that for a couple of minutes and lo and behold, we have got one ingredient, banana ice cream. No sugar, other than what's naturally occurring. Quick, easy, cheap dessert, made from something that we would have thrown away.
One of the last things the caterpillar ate before he turned into a butterfly was watermelon.
That's right.
Can I?
Be my guest.
All right, so we hope that you try these recipes at home.
That's right. Remember, send us in any sort of wacky clips, any alternative recipes to this, and make sure when you're doing that, you include the hashtag summer of food and fun. And if you do start flying, be careful.
We'll see you. Continue for long.
No, that's fine, that's cool. It maybe wins.
You're continuing it too long.
Well, let's have a decisive, conclusive. All the thing is never been fed.
You guys want some? I feel really bad that like, we just eat them.
Oh, what? I don't.
Feel free to do that at any point, guys, yeah?